If the first step to writing is brainstorming story ideas, then the next step is to choose and clarify a particular story concept. That is, you need to decide on and refine the story idea that you're going to pursue this time. So, how do you grow the seed of a story idea into the roots of a story tree? Now, keep in mind, you're not looking for the best story idea here. You're not looking for the most literary or the most marketable concept. You're not even looking for the story that you could hypothetically write the best. You're just looking for an idea. Any idea that excites you. You're looking for the story that you want to tell. And it doesn't have to be the story. Choosing one story to write right now doesn't preclude you from telling others in the future. You're not even bound to the story idea that you're choosing right now. At no point in the early stages of the writing process are you committing yourself to anything. So since you're not going to be trapped or permanently bound by today's decision, focus on what you enjoy reading, the stories you like to hear, the stories you want to tell, and just pick one to start with. So which character, world, plot, or scene idea on your brainstorming page excites you? Which story would you like to see come to life? Now, once you've chosen the general story idea, you want to refine it into a workable concept. This involves giving it a direction, a framework, something for the characters to do, something to happen, a reason for the reader to read and the writer to write the story. I find one of the best ways to do this for me is to reduce my story concept to a short pitch or logline. A logline is a long sentence up to a paragraph of prose that answers some of the essential story questions right off the bat. It's a great tool for selling your story, for pitching your story to someone who you want to publish or produce it, or just to buy it, but it's also a great tool for giving yourself direction for your story in the early stages. If you can create a good logline for your story, you know you have a workable concept. If you have trouble creating a good logline for your story, you might want to work a bit more to clarify your concept. Here's what your logline should address. Here are the root things that you need to answer at this stage. At the very least, your logline or pitch should address the central character or characters, just a brief description of each one. The central conflict, the motive or desire, and the obstacle that is preventing the protagonist or main character from getting his or her desire. What's at stake? That is, what does the hero or protagonist or whoever it is stand to gain or to lose in the outcome of this struggle? This is also known as a reason for us to care. And then, ideally, you want some kind of ticking time clock. What is it? What is the element that adds urgency to the situation, that makes it have to happen, and have to happen within a given time period? This is generally optional at this point, but it does make the stakes more urgent and can make your story idea more exciting, which can give you more oomph to get in there. But when you do have this information together, you have the roots of a story. You've raised a central mystery in your own and the reader's mind that now needs to be solved. And now, it's your job to craft the solution. So here are some sample loglines that I wrote myself for existing properties. And other people who might write loglines for these properties might write them in a different way, completely different from mine. They might think of them in a different way. But this is just to give you an example of what I'm trying to think about when I'm thinking about pitching my story early on, prior to even developing the story fully. Start with this one. When his father's ghost reveals a dark secret, a young prince throws his honor, his family, and his whole kingdom into chaos in a cunning search for truth and vengeance. When a horrific crime stirs up racial tension in a southern town, a white lawyer must defend his innocent black client and his young daughter's faith in human nature against a system set to destroy them both. An impoverished student commits a heinous murder and then attempts to justify it to himself while evading a police investigation and fighting madness. Those are some loglines for existing novels. I did another video on loglines where I kind of go through the process of coming up with one for yourself. But if you need a template to kind of get you started, here's a possibility. When X event happens, protagonist must accomplish need/desire before the ticking time clock, or risk what's at stake. If you can fill in the blanks to that, you can give yourself a story that has some tension in it. Now, obviously, you don't need to fill in those blanks if they don't fit your story concept. If that kind of logline doesn't work for what you're writing, don't feel tied to it. Come up with a pitch model that fits the story you're trying to tell. A concept that gets you excited to tell the story in full. So now, you try. Choose a story idea and see if you can develop it into a writable story concept. Make sure you have those central story questions, those key blanks, at least roughly filled in. Post your log lines or pitches in the comments below for feedback if you're brave enough. Speaking of feedback, I have opened up memberships on my channel. Now it's only one tier so far and just a few perks I'm offering, but it's only the price of a small non-Starbucks cup of coffee per month if you are interested. Obviously, all I need for you guys to do is watch my videos, and I love you for it. But if you do want to support the channel and support me continuing to make these, I would really appreciate it, and I will do the best to make it worth your while. So please click the join button down there if you're interested. But either way, please click the like and subscribe buttons down there and comment on the video. What would you like to hear next? Until next time, don't forget to subscribe. You don't want to miss step 3 of the 10 steps to story, crafting your characters. So until next time, good luck and good writing. Peace.